death.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for a crazy video here for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about the release of the Weaver Bundle, a shocking update on the Activision lawsuit which may affect Call of Duty development, and some other important announcements. Definitely stay tuned, but before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and let me know in the comments if you've gotten the Weaver Bundle yet, or if you would like to win one in an upcoming giveaway that I'll be doing at some point this Friday. I did one already, but I figured I would do at least one more. I'll be streaming this Friday afternoon, as I'll talk more about later on in this video, and if you want to enter, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and drop an eye emoji down below in the comments. Good luck to all you guys out there. Let's go ahead and celebrate with some gameplay of this Weaver Bundle here in this video. But what I want to ask you guys now is whether or not this is a scheduled tweet or are they back to business, right? Call of Duty has gone dark over the last couple of days because of the recent allegations made against Activision, but today Raven Software finally tweeted out again where they said the following: last year, we had the pleasure of launching the Black Ops Cold War campaign. One of the coolest parts of what we do is seeing the reach that our games have. We want to take a moment to highlight the excellent contributions that were made by different voices from all around the world. Since Raven has tweeted, will they be going back to typical Call of Duty marketing, or will that not resume until at least after the Activision phone call next Tuesday? I will be live on the channel breaking down the call, reacting with you guys, and awaiting any possible major announcements for the future of all of Activision's franchises. But before we continue with today's news, let's go ahead and thank the sponsor of tonight's video. Now, tonight's video has kindly been sponsored by Dragon Champions. Dragon Champions is the perfect game to hop on and play when you're not looking to sweat. It's a free-to-play fantasy RPG that has a deep and engaging multi-stage storyline filled with Easter eggs, pop culture, and humorous references. There's a variety of tactical battles which include PvP, PvE, and more. In Dragon Champions, you can join guilds, chat with other players, and combine efforts to win raids. If you're a fan of Destiny raids, then you should definitely check these out. Participate in raids and attack the most powerful beast of Corridor and defeat the Elder Dragons. There are many heroes and races to choose from, each with different rarity levels that join you in the ultimate adventure. Developers always remain actively engaged with the player base, listen to their feedback, and regularly implement new ideas to keep the game fresh. They hold polls on their Discord server where players can decide what kind of additions they would like to see added in the future. The game is constantly updated and evolving. Developers not only add new heroes, but also improve old characters and levels so that players do not get bored. There are no predatory microtransactions, and the game is absolutely free to play. You can complete all story levels and unlock every hero without paying $1. You won't see any intrusive ads that also disrupt your gameplay. Now, there's also plenty of generous prizes, and you receive a ton of different loot for nearly everything you do in the game. Now, there will be plenty more to discover in the game, so if you're interested, you can click on the link down below in the description to download the game for free. The developers have offered a gift for you guys if you use the promo code Dynamite2107, or if you simply scan the QR code that you guys can see on screen. This will provide you some exclusive in-game loot that is worth $10 and a brand new character called Robin Bad. You can enter the code by heading to the settings tab and clicking on use promo code. The more you use the code, the more I can provide you with extra free loot in future videos. If you do check out Dragon Champions, come back to this video later on and let me know your thoughts on the game down below in the comments. Thank you to Dragon Champions for sponsoring tonight's video. Now back to the video, we got a breaking report that Activision Blizzard employees will be staging a walkout tomorrow, July 28th, in front of the Blizzard HQ over in California. They're going to be protesting the company executives' response to the harassment lawsuit, and employees will not be served any repercussions for participating in this lawsuit, but will be offered paid leave if they do choose to support some of their colleagues. I think that's the best response Activision's provided thus far, which is that yes, you'll be paid to go ahead and walk out. There won't be any consequences for standing up for what's right, so that's a good step. But here's the thing, right? With more and more employees standing up for what's right over at that studio or that entire company, what does this mean for the future of their franchises? I am more than positive in the next week, by the time the investors call rolls around, Season 1 did get delayed by a week because of technical difficulties. So for the sake of this lawsuit here, I wouldn't be shocked if they push Season 5 back by a week or two just to get back on pace. I mean, the corporate response that we got a couple of days ago was really inappropriate and didn't at all address the situation in the way that it should have. I mean, coming out and saying that the company's doing great, the allegations are false, and we're going to move on is just not the right way to approach this. And as I mentioned a ton now, the priorities lie with the victims first, 100%, but I'm okay with seeing a delayed Season 5, a delayed Call of Duty Vanguard, just for the sake of doing the right thing and addressing what matters first above all else, even if studios that are working on Call of Duty have no ties to where these allegations came from. Let's still get some change, right? This should not be happening in 2021. It's ridiculous to still be hearing about things like this to this day, but I have some other shocking updates about this lawsuit, which we're gonna address deeper into this video. Now, today we got the release of the Weaver Bundle over in Black Ops Cold War, so yes, in better news, we got a bundle that we've been waiting for since the start of Season 4. and it does cost 2,400 COD points, but quite frankly, the only part about this bundle that I was most interested in was definitely Weaver and the zombie pets. I'd almost go as far as to say that if there wasn't a zombie pet in this bundle, I might not have picked this one up. I love Weaver, he's a great character, but let's take a look at this bundle, right? So, the blueprints do match Weaver's vibe, but aren't anything special, as you guys are going to see. These desert-like camouflages, which still fit the aesthetic of Season 4 altogether, but aren't anything special. I threw Dark Ether on the XM4, which covers the whole blueprint anyway, but the tracer rounds do look in sync with Dark Ether, right? A nice mix of blue and purple, so at least that matches, and it fits the zombies theme fairly well and a lot better than the blueprints themselves. But maybe could have went with some blueprints that scream zombies instead of these desert-like camos, which I guess fit a basic Modern Warfare operator, right? Weaver's much cooler than that, so they could have thought of something better, but we are going to get some more zombies-themed mastercrafts, I'm assuming, before the end of this game's life cycle. We, of course, also have the animated Raven calling card and emblem, a Raven charm, and a cool watch that highlights what prestige and rank you are, and it's more of a flex than anything, since you can, of course, see your rank and prestige by hitting the scoreboard whenever you're in-game or in a lobby. So I think some of the watches they've come out with in Black Ops Cold War and Warzone have been alright. Other ones show you a kill counter. I mean, some of them show your health, but you could see all that in-game already. So I think the coolest one thus far they've ever introduced was over in Modern Warfare, where you can see how many kills you are off of a nuke. Super useful in case you guys are playing hardcore, don't want to pull up your scoreboard, just want a quick look whenever you're in-game. What I do find interesting, though, is a bit of a secret update that nobody's really talking about. So speaking of the nuke, as you guys might remember, in all of the cranked modes, upon getting the 5 kills to become fully cranked, the meter that's on your screen will usually convert into a different meter that then tracks how many kills you are off of the nuke kill streak. You have to get 30 kills for that, but now with the recent updates, upon getting those 5 kills and becoming fully cranked, the meter just stays the same. There is no visual as to how close you are to the brand new nuke kill streak, so you have to go back to the old-fashioned way of either counting them in your head, looking at the scoreboard, or keeping track of the visual you get every time you get a kill while you're on a streak in Cold War multiplayer. But maybe this is paving the way for a watch like I was talking about before that's in Modern Warfare that does track how many kills you are off of a nuke. Maybe that's why they made this change. If you aren't playing cranked, you can then get this watch and use it in any mode that you want. Unless there's already a watch that exists in Cold War that I haven't seen yet, which does that, let me know down below in the comments. But we then have the best part of the bundle, which is easily the pets. Now, this bad boy is going to follow you around in either a multiplayer or a zombies lobby, and the finishing move animation is a bit different depending on if the enemy is prone or not. I'll show some examples of that here on screen, thanks to Fajardi, who volunteered to get his head ripped off by a zombie here in Cold War. But I saw people out there also asking for finishing moves to be added to zombies, and the problem with that is how that could be implemented, right? I could see it working, but would you become invincible while doing a finishing move, or would you be forced to do one with the last zombie at the end of the round? Because if you don't do that, then you might get swarmed while in the animation and glitch out or get killed instantly. So I'm not sure how they make that work, but I could definitely see some exploits being found if that would get added in, some invincibility glitches or some other surprises that Treyarch couldn't have expected with that. But I wouldn't complain if they were added to zombies. However, I wouldn't see much use for them, maybe on an Elite or something in Onslaught, but in regular round-based or Outbreak where things get hectic, might be a bit too risky to go ahead and try that. But I also could see a benefit to play devil's advocate, right, to get more value out of these bundles if you only play zombies here in Black Ops Cold War. But it has been reported by other insiders out there that the SAM bundle in Cold War was one of the more successful ones ever sold for Call of Duty, so that probably tells Activision to do more zombies-themed bundles or more iconic characters like Weaver, like Sam at some point in the future. So I think I'm betting on my money on, at least by Season 6, seeing a bundle for Mason, Young Menendez, Kravchenko, possibly Eddie if he gets introduced with the full model at some point. I could see all that happening and selling extraordinarily well, despite having some underwhelming blueprints a part of them, right? Looking at the Sam bundle from a couple of months ago, that one didn't have any great blueprints, nor does the Bride bundle that came out a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's all about the operator here, but adding in tracer rounds or an animated emblem, a finishing move, that's all icing on the cake for what appears to be successful bundles when you incorporate some fan favorite characters in them. So I'm curious what the next quarter sales are going to look like for these bundles, which we're not going to hear about until probably October. So when that investors call, I'm going to be curious if these recent allegations against Activision have impacted their sales for bundles in Black Ops Cold War and even Warzone. But speaking of that as well, we then got an official response from Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, who sent out a company-wide email a couple of minutes ago as I was recording this, and I will leave the full email linked down below in the description. But to break down the most important parts here, he first said our initial responses to the issues we faced together and to your concerns were quite frankly tone deaf. And obviously I couldn't agree more with that, and even he sees that the response that was put out the day after the allegations were reported was just unacceptable. I mean, that was the absolute opposite response you want the company to provide you with. I will put it on screen so you guys can see. I mean, a top executive who was previously working under the Bush administration went ahead and essentially says, like I said earlier in the video, that the allegations were false and that we're going to move on and they're a great company. And I'm like, hold on a second. That is just not the way to approach this, especially after the entire state of California has sued you over this. Clearly there's concrete evidence to this. Clearly there's some backing to this. The legal system will do its job, but I can promise you this wouldn't have been such a severe lawsuit if these were just, hearsay allegations that have no backing to them. Clearly this is serious, so thankfully Bobby has addressed that was a very piss poor response for something as serious as this. He then went ahead and mentions the following changes which will be effective immediately. So employee support, we will continue to investigate each and every claim and will not hesitate to take decisive action to strengthen our capabilities in this area. We are adding senior staff and other resources to both the compliance team and the employee relations team. They're adding listening sessions because they have heard some different ideas on how to improve the culture at Activision, so they're going to be creating safe spaces moderated by third parties. Again, there you go. They have personnel changes coming, and they're going to be evaluating managers and leaders across the company, and anyone that has been found to have broken the integrity of their company will be removed immediately, right? The consequences are, of course, termination. I mean, thank God, right? Round of applause for that one. They have hiring practices coming up. Earlier this year, I sent an email requiring all hiring managers to ensure they have diverse candidate slates for all open positions. We will be adding compliance resources to ensure that our hiring managers are in fact listening to this directive. We then have in-game changes. We have heard about the input from employee and player communities. Some of our in-game content is inappropriate. We're removing that content. So let me know in the comments if you guys know what the inappropriate content could be. I mean, it's likely not in the Call of Duty area, but maybe in World of Warcraft or Overwatch, something that I never really saw or something that has been around for many years which never got changed and may apparently be inappropriate to some people out there. But lastly, in this email, he then says, your well-being remains my priority and I will spare no company resource ensuring that our company has the most welcoming, comfortable, and safe culture possible. You have my unwavering commitment that we will improve our company together and we will be the most inspiring, inclusive entertainment company in the world. Yours sincerely, Bobby. So again, don't go on me now in the comments for reading this email out, but regardless of whether or not you agree with Bobby as a CEO or his email here, at the very least, something is being said about this, and I think, like I said, the investors call next week is going to be very fascinating to see what their next steps are, because we don't just have issues with these allegations here, but taking a look at Activision's stock earlier today, this is even crazier now. Now, regardless of what Bobby's response was to this, taking a look at something else here. So, shareholder rights law firm Robinson's LLP is investigating Activision Blizzard to determine whether certain Activision officers and directors violated the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 and breached their fiduciary duties to the company. Activision develops and publishes interactive entertainment, content, and services in the Americas and abroad. Their stock has plummeted after today. I mean, other companies saw this as well, if you guys follow stocks at all, but thanks to these allegations, thanks to COVID, thanks to some other issues going on, all of that in a mixed bag may have just killed their stock, at least for the meantime. So I'm sure we'll get some more updates on this in the next few days. I'll keep you guys posted in some of my future videos, but altogether, things just aren't looking good right now for Activision, their franchises, I mean, the employees who just want to get to work, but now are walking out in support of their colleagues, right? Stand up for what's right. And the priorities lie amongst the victims first, not the game. But taking a look at Call of Duty specifically, in my eyes right now, in my recent memory, I can't ever think of a time like this where the future is just uncertain. I mean, even if marketing is still on schedule, releases are on schedule, even then, how will the community respond to this, right? It's not going to be till the end of the lawsuit before things release, because that's going to take years. They're not going to push things back that far. I was already a bit worried about Vanguard as it is because of the response to it, even pre-reveal. People just weren't happy about a World War II themed game. So add this into the mix now. I don't know. I don't know what the future is for this channel, the Call of Duty community. I'm worried about it all, but I think with the right response from Activision and with the right changes made to the gaming industry as a whole, we could pull forward and work through this. But it's like I also mentioned in a few other videos, right? There are employees who have no involvement with these allegations, right? They aren't even at the same studio where these allegations came from, but are still in support of the colleagues that got affected. So of course they'll walk out, they'll get their paid leave for a minute, and they'll voice their concerns on Twitter and whatnot. But as the developers themselves have even said, boycotting Call of Duty or games that weren't even made by the people who were abusing their forms of power, that's not going to help anybody, right? How does that help a developer when they then get laid off as a result of the game being boycotted or the game then dying because of community backlash? How does it help those developers, right? So putting a blanket over everybody in every studio because of these allegations isn't the right way to go about it, but holding the right people accountable is the right way to go about it. So let's hopefully have a cleaner discussion on the internet about what needs to be done and where, not just associating any Activision project with where these allegations came from. That's not going to help anybody at the end of the day. But to end off this video on more of a positive note, I wanted to announce, and as you guys may have noticed, that Zombies for Charity 3 is happening this summer. The Captain's Draft is this Friday, while the event itself is next Friday. I'll be streaming both events here on my channel, and I'm very excited to be a team captain, right? We have a lot of competitive Zombies players a part of this event, which are going to be speedrunning their asses off in Cold War-based challenges. Cannot wait for you guys to see them, and I'm honored to be a team captain for Bomb Squad. Bit of a cheesy name there, but we'll take it. And lastly, we raised over $6,000 for St. Jude's and Z4C2. Hopefully we can break that number this summer with Z4C3, which all the proceedings will be going to a kid again. The organization is linked down below in the description, and that's one of the best parts about being a content creator. I mean, putting together a great audience, working with other creators, and standing up for a greater cause. I don't see enough of this happening with larger content creators, so we're gonna step up as smaller creators and do the job for them, right? Hopefully this inspires other people out there to do little charity events like this more often in the Call of Duty community at some point in the future. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new Weaver Operator pack? Are you guys gonna cop this one? How do you feel about the new updates regarding the Activision lawsuits? And will you be tuning into the Z4C3 live streams this Friday and the next? Also, good luck with sweaty Cold War multiplayer lobbies, since the MAC 10 is a part of this bundle and will likely be spammed quite a bit in every match that you play. So hopefully you guys have a good time. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.